1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
One of the surprises of the 1st round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Here's Carson. And he stopped immediately there. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Play action. Now Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Oakland takes the field again, and that week 4 that they had was, I don't know, you guess you call it a relief win because they were 0-3. Looked like they might drop to 0-4 against the Browns. For John Gruden, it had been over 6,100 days since his last victory. Now, obviously, he had stepped away from the game, but that had to feel good for him.
Had to feel good for him, had to feel good for his team, good for the Raiders nation, the franchise, you name it. Everyone had to feel a little bit of sense of relief. And his quarterback, Derek Carr, for the most part this season, has played awfully well. How about this past game? 437 yards, 4 touchdowns, threw it 58 times in the win over the Browns.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him? without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Now Carr going left on the option. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, Lynch. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain.
Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Carr gives to Marshawn. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Leaves it for Petty. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Here's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny, his running back. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way out to the 46. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Let's get it, let's get it.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a big hook up there, Wilson to Baldwin, 42 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vanette, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
Touchdown.
Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
Out to kick is Janikowski. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Everyone's got 4 down. Down. Wide 8.
They'll run again with Lynch, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Down. 280.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. This is Carson. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
Well, I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Wilson on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They go play action now. Wilson. And Marshall's got it. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 18 yards there and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Arden Key, the ex-LSU Tiger, there on the stop. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On on third down. That's Carson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. He's back to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get the penalty yardage back plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's got this down to the 35. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. Now a desperation. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. And now the spike comes with 28 seconds left on the clock. Now Carr. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Now it's Carson. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Wilson to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall. That'll bring up second down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Wilson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Throwing now is Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, second down. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up, but in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
Carr again here on second and 10. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Get set. You're wide, 8-8.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
Lets it go for Nelson. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, second down. That's one of those pivotal plays that'll just stick out in everybody's mind from this game. If he picks that off, what a momentum swing down here in the end zone.
And he did his job. He knocked the ball away, but it does feel like a letdown for him and his teammates, doesn't it? A chance to intercept it, turn it back over to his offense with a chance to win the game.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Get set. Wide 85.
To throw on third down, Carr. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's fourth and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now, part 1 is done. Now part 2. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Get it, baby. Let's go.
Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? Throws left side complete to Brandon Marshall. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Bruce Irvin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Wilson. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Raiders have got him. Bruce Irvin getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Open man, it's Benet. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll toss it out to Carson. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy. And this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Penny will try to punch it in, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only 2nd down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for 3rd, have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's 3rd down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. All right, well, they didn't kick it on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it, because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage. You fall on it, you get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
Here's Wilson to throw. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Raiders have recovered. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punch that thing in and end it. Now we're going the other way.
And it's real easy to just look at them and say, boy, what an error, what a mistake you made. But how about the defense coming up huge? Let's give them a little bit of credit, keeping their team in the game, because if they score a touchdown there.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So out come the Raiders. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Now Carr connects it to Roberts, right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Carr now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Get set. Blue 80.
Again, it's Carr. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Down. You wide 80.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And Cook has it, left side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Down. 180.
On the handoff, Lynch. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Down. Blue 80.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance out field goals from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.